All right, we are live. Hello, homie Arizona. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are here to talk about our housing protection event and to share some resources associated with eviction and foreclosure prevention. I am excited to talk about who we have today that can answer some of your questions and just share more information about what's going on in Arizona and how to access resources related to preventing and mediating foreclosure and how you might get access for free help from housing experts that can help you navigate this. My name is Elias Benjaloon, and I work at Homie. And Homie believes in fair housing practices. We are equal housing opportunity partner, and we're just so excited to get started. But before we do, I just want to share some special thanks to our partners, including our partner Administration of Resources and Choices in Arizona, as well as our growing partner Nevada partners. And so let's see who we're talking to today. So today we'll be talking with Dorrie Sauerzopf. She is a top 1% real estate agent in Arizona. And thank you, Dorrie, for joining us. I'll go ahead and add you to the screen. And then after we talk to Dorrie for the next couple of minutes, we'll talk to Debbie Chandler from ARC Arizona. Dorrie, how are you?
Elias, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for doing this today on Homie Day of all days.
Yes.
Perfect. So, Dorrie, if you could just tell us a quick little bit about yourself and a little bit about Homie.
Okay, so again, my name's Dorrie Sauerzopf. I've been with Homie for just under 3 years here in Arizona. One of the two original agents that started with the company here. Right now, I'm the lead listing manager for Arizona. And with that, obviously, work with a number of people, unfortunately, that have been in the foreclosure situation. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for joining us today. So, really, what we wanted to talk about was for folks who might not be sure about what to do. Homie has got your back, and it's really straightforward to contact a Homie agent. So, if you're somebody who's unsure of what to do next, you can visit homie.com to schedule some time to talk to an expert listing agent like Dorrie. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second, Dorrie, so we could just have a conversation, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Perfect. So tell us, a little bit more about, what should families do right now if they're kind of getting out of forbearance or if they're at risk of foreclosure.
Right. Quite an unfortunate situation to be in. I think one of the first things they should do is contact their lender. In doing so, the lenders most likely will want to work with them prior to, obviously having to have one of their homes put into foreclosure. I recently worked with a couple that their home was going into foreclosure. And, just by them staying in touch with their lender, they were able to extend the time that it took for them to sell their home prior to actually going into foreclosure. So they were able to pay their lender what they owed, and so it all worked out in the end. They fortunately had enough equity in their home that they were able to do that. So, and not actually have that foreclosure, stuck to their credit and their name for the next how many years, 7 years or so. So, yeah.
That's great that it worked out for them, and I want to talk more about that because the housing crisis that we're experiencing today is so much different than the mortgage crisis we experienced, a little over a decade ago. Can you talk about, why that's the case and why families who may be struggling with foreclosure have a little bit more options than they may have had?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we had the crash several years ago, people were paying way over asking for a home. They were interest-only loans, so they weren't even paying down the principal. So unfortunately, they had no equity in their home. Whereas now, a lot of these homeowners do have substantial equity in their homes. So with that comes numerous options for them. And like I said, it makes it so that a lender is really willing to work with them. And along with that, they should really, absolutely sort out their household budgets and be completely prepared when they, contact the lender.
Absolutely, and that's something that the housing counseling agencies have done a good job at doing, and we'll kind of go into that here in a minute. Can you share a little bit more about, how you'll be able to help as a listing specialist with Homey in terms of helping somebody sell their home and why Homey does it differently?
Yeah, one of the great things with Homey is we do have extremely experienced agents. We're all in the top 1% in the state of Arizona. So, we all work hard. Our net promoter scores, our NPS scores are right up there with, the top industries in the whole world. We know what we're doing. And, also with Homey, I don't like to call ourselves like a discount broker because we offer, full real estate services. We're a traditional agency, but we do have a flat fee for people that are deciding to sell their homes because they don't have any choices. So in doing so, we can save them thousands of dollars. Typically, to list your home is 3% right off the top of the purchase price. With Homey, we charge a flat fee of $3,500. So that could mean thousands of dollars in savings that the homeowner can put towards paying off what they owe on the home when they sell it, or if they do have that in equity, they can put it towards, perhaps purchasing another home, or gives them more options for, finding a rental or what have you. So they're not in such a desolate situation.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so, really what we just want to say here is that Homey's got your back, and you can contact the Homey agent like Dorrie. All you have to do is visit homey.com to get started, to contact the listing agent, and Dorrie can kind of talk you through the process. And really, step one is to talk to your lender and let them know that you want to get this sorted out. We don't want anybody to lose their homes, yet there are tens of thousands of families in Arizona that are at risk of doing so. And so visit homey.com to get some help if you're thinking about is selling the right fit for you. Dorrie, thank you so much. I know you're enjoying some time with family in Canada on this on this Homey day. Anything else you want to share before you sign off?
I just want to say the worst thing that a homeowner can do is ignore the problem. It's best to face it, to get in touch with a lender, to get that household budget done. There's an AZ protection hotline out there. There's a number of, organizations that will help. Absolutely just face the problem head on, and we're here to help them any way that we possibly can.
Thank you so much, Dorrie. And now we're going to move over to Debbie Chandler from the Administration of Resources and Choices. Debbie, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for putting this together, and thanks to Dorrie. That was helpful and informative. I have to ask, what's Homey Day?
Yeah, so Homey Day is today. It's once a week. We have a Homey week, and essentially we just celebrate each of our values. So we have a value of loyalty, a value of disruption, one of balance, and just having each other's back. And so yesterday, homies from all across markets went and volunteered with local nonprofits. And each day of the week, we had some speakers come and talk to us about how we just do better as a company, and also just help our homies grow as individuals. And so today is a day off, but I'm thankful because folks still want to kind of lean into this type of work.
That is really great. Thank you. So as and Elias, thank you again for putting this together. As Elias said, I'm Debbie Chandler. I'm the Executive Director of Administration of Resources and Choices. We call ourselves ARC because the name is such a mouthful. So ARC is a HUD housing counseling agency. I've been directing it for about 8 years. Our mission is to create and stabilize homeownership. So people like Dorrie, for example, who come across individuals who can't qualify to buy, if they send them to us, we get them prepared and eventually turn them into a homeowner back to their lender. But more specifically, at the present time, as you would expect, we're mostly focused on foreclosure mitigation and helping people with payment assistance, which is becoming available. ARC has 4 full-time HUD certified housing counselors, and why that is important follows here shortly. As Dorrie said, it is important to contact your lender, but at the current moment, it is even more important that you know to contact resources within the state who can help you with homeowner assistance funds. These are funds that will actually help you come out of forbearance, bring your loans current, make payments for you while you continue to have financial hardship. And all of that representation is done by the housing counselors working with your lender. And why is that good? Because we speak their language. They are required to work with HUD agencies, and everybody has the same mission. Nobody wants the houses back. We want to solve the problem. We want to apply funds. These funds came from the American Rescue Act that are just now becoming available. They're available, and they will be coming out in about a few weeks. But they're coming through HUD agencies. So my word to everybody who's listening who might need mortgage assistance is the thing to do right now is reach out to us. There is information in a slide ahead. You can either contact us by phone, you can contact us at our website, but in any case, we will run you through a few questions. There is some eligibility for the funds. And just for a second, I want to put this in perspective for Arizonans. I was on a presentation or heard a presentation today by Harvard. There are 2 million home loans in forbearance in the country. In Arizona, there are 33,000 home loans in forbearance. That's a lot. And it hasn't been a problem yet because the forbearance has kept everything in place, buying time. It's not top of mind to people because they're not under pressure to do anything until the forbearance ends. Many forbearance programs ended in September, some end in December. In either case, action's required, and those balances didn't get forgiven. They're still owed in some fashion. So our role is to help you figure out how to best apply funds or strategies to those balances, including what might be due for taxes and insurance that's not been paid during the forbearance. In addition to the 33,000 in forbearance, there's 83,000 home loans past due and delinquent in Arizona. So the message is we'd like all 83,000 of those people to get in touch with a HUD agency, a HUD housing counseling agency, and get help because there is help and there is money. It's probably going to go fairly quickly. So the best thing to do is get in touch with us and get in line. We work with all the lenders. We work on the homeowner's behalf. My staff is all bilingual. I don't know what audience we have today for sure, but just so the word is out, I know we're going to do a Spanish one in the near future, but we are bilingual if needed. There's a couple eligibility requirements. They're very simple. We can run you through them on the phone. They have to do with income, but the income is very generous. You have to have had some kind of a hardship, and a hardship would be any kind of loss of income, healthcare costs, care of a loved one, increased costs, loss of a job, lots of areas of financial hardship that may have caused you to be in the position you're in and therefore qualify for these homeowner assistance funds. And of course, it does have to be your primary residence. So that's, in essence, my biggest and most important role today is to get the word out to the community in Arizona. This is available. Don't hesitate. Get in line, get help. As Dorrie said, you can call your lender, but if you call us, we'll talk to your lender on your behalf and work out the best possible solution. And sometimes that's a modification. Sometimes that's money paid down on the principal. It can be, the answer to the question is complicated because the forbearance programs are all different and complicated, which is why I recommend that you get a counselor and a specialist on the phone and on your side. As the homie people say, they've got your back. Well, we've got your back with your lenders. So thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to get this word out to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Debbie. I know that you had some more information as well about the reverse mortgage program. Is that something
yes.
to talk about today?
I certainly can. I focused on the biggest hot topic at the moment, but we also are certified as reverse mortgage counselors, which is required if you are going to pursue a reverse mortgage. Today, a reverse mortgage can be a solution for anybody over 62 in the same sort of circumstances, want to stay in their home, want to obtain a reverse mortgage. You can contact us for that kind of guidance. We're not a lender, we're just an advisor. We would help refer you to a lender. The lender will then require that you do some counseling with us to make sure it's a good choice. In essence, a reverse mortgage is a mortgage without payments. It's really nothing more than that. It's a little more complicated to get into because you want to make sure that you don't end up upside down on your home, which HUD has now put directions in place that doesn't happen any longer. The original reverse mortgage loans back in the day weren't protective enough. Now they're protective enough, and it's a very, very good solution for people over 62 who just want to stay in their house but can't afford their payments long term. So yes, we are also available for that kind of consultation. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. And Debbie, if so, I moved away from the slides a little bit. If we can continue talking some more. So really, the main call to action here is there's a lot of resources out there. You know, ARC is a HUD certified housing counseling agency, and for folks that don't know, could you share a little bit about why that matters? That y'all are an agency, part of HUD, and that folks can just consider y'all some trusted professionals to come get support, whether it was foreclosures or evictions or even buying a home for the first time.
About a year ago, HUD came up with some standards. Housing counseling has been around for a long time. We have been providing the same kind of counseling I was speaking to you about since 2008 in the original crisis. So it's been around a long time, but about a year ago, HUD decided that all counselors needed to get certified, which was a whole lot of training and testing to pass the HUD exam in order to say that you are certified. And today, you have to be certified to carry on these activities. The money that we're talking about is money that came from the federal government, from the Treasury, through to the states, and through to the HUD agencies. This money cannot be obtained without one of those channels. You can't just go to the government and say, I want this money. You have to come through a counselor, because not only do we want to give the money, apply the money to your problem, but we want to make sure that you've got the counseling and the budget and the basis to have long-term stability, and that you have an affordable house payment that makes sense. And that's what counselors do. They use their skill and their expertise to make sure that we're not just putting a Band-Aid on your problem, we're actually solving your problem long-term. You've got an affordable payment. And if you don't have affordable payment, what kind of principal can we put down from the federal funds to reduce your balance, to get an affordable payment? Like, what are the options? And again, it's complicated sometimes for just the general homeowner, but for us, we do it day in and day out. So that's what we can help work through. What's the best solution? And that's our goal. Your best solution is our best solution. It's all free, by the way. We don't charge customers anything to get any of this done. It's all free, partially your tax dollars and partially contributions that come to ARC in our nonprofit status.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for the explainer there. Today, we didn't talk too much about eviction prevention, but I do want to talk a little bit more about that and just share that HUD.gov is a resource for finding various housing counseling agencies and the services that they specialize in. Debbie, could you just share a little bit more about what the national and Arizona response to rental assistance is and how folks can get support there?
Sure. In addition to the Mortgage Assistance Fund or the Homeowner Assistance Fund, a lot of money also came out of the American Rescue Act geared towards or directed towards rental assistance. In Arizona, I'll speak to it somewhat generally, but in Arizona, different counties are handling it differently. So they're each doing their own rental assistance program. There is a website on this Arizona Department of Housing website, I think, that tells you all of the resources, where to go, what county you're into. Pretty much all of it is online. However, after you've viewed this video, if you just want to call ARC and say, hey, I'm looking for rental assistance, we'll just direct you. We don't actually have the rental assistance money, but we have all the contacts, and we can direct you based upon your county where you go to apply. The process is a little bit involved. You've got to present some documentation. You've got to work through a little process, but it does work, and the money does come. And I believe in most of the counties, you can receive 12 months back of rental assistance and 3 months forward. And they work directly with the landlord so that the eviction process will stop while you're working through this process with them. So it is successful, it does work, and it is available, and there's still lots of rental assistance money available. So people should not hesitate to reach out. Again, feel free to call ARC and just say, hey, I need to know where to go in my county for rental assistance. We'll be happy to direct you.
I had to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Debbie. I am going to go ahead and put that on the screen again. So for folks that want to contact ARC, here is the phone number. Let's see if it's coming up. Great. Awesome.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the reverse mortgage one. Go to the other. There, no, one more.
602-742226.
Yeah. That's a Phoenix phone number. We are statewide. There is also a Tucson phone number, but we can direct you. Just call that number. We'll get you where you need to go. We work very much remotely, so a shout out to everybody who is in any remote county. If you're not in Maricopa and you're not in Pima County, that's okay. We welcome you to give us a call. We work statewide, and we are particularly focused on rural areas because there tend to be less people available for assistance in those areas. So give us a call.
Thank you. Well, Debbie, I just want to thank you again for joining us this Friday, and I look forward to being able to do more events like this with the local housing organizations and the various resources available to folks. And shout out to our homie agent, Dorrie Sauerzopf, for jumping in earlier today. A big special thanks to our partners that have made this possible. And stay tuned. If you have any questions that we didn't get to answer today, just let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to do our best to answer them, as well as see you again for another event that will be in Spanish and more housing resources of live streams like this one.
Thank you.
All right, Debbie. I will see you again soon. I hope you have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.